Hello everybody, so today I'm going to look at how to learn Python for free. Free sites that you can go on to learn Python. So you don't have to pay lots of money, buy books, buy e-learning with Udemy or any of the other courses online. There's a perfectly good one, which is at the Python Institute, pythoninstitute.org. And as you can see, sign up for the Python Essentials courses, dive into programming and learn Python from scratch. Now, the aim of this is to take the course and gain certification. The certification, as always, is proctored by a person view, I believe. And that could cost you, I believe, maybe up to $200, so not cheap. But why do you even need to take the exam? I think the best thing really is just to make use of the free study resources. And I think no matter what stage you're at with Python, you can always go back and just test your skills against kind of some little tests that they provide. And here we've just got some progress. So there's 4 modules with the Essentials course. And even this, there's always something which you think, oh yeah, I forgot how to do that. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just look at how I picked up on a few things which you kind of take for granted, and then you go back and then you think, ah yeah, I didn't actually know that. So what we've got first, I've collated some of the example questions and put them on this page at GitHub, my GitHub page, Python challenges questions.py. You can go there. Okay, so apologies if this is a bit basic for any of you, but we will get on to something a little bit more difficult as we progress through the video. So this is the first example. A equals 1, B equals 0, C equals A and B. So let's just test it on the command line. So A equals 1, B equals 0. So C equals A and B. So what would the result of that be? It would be true, or it would be 1 if A and B are both 1, which they're not. So it's not true. So it should be 0. So let's try that. And if we print C, we get 0. Good. Okay. So next example. D equals A or B. So if A or B are 1, then D will be 1. So this should be 1. And D is 1. Good. Right. Next. Right. It's actually 1. So even this first example, I think it might catch some of you out. Might not. I don't know. Right. Let's look at the next example. Example 2. Okay, this next example uses a while loop, and outside of it, we've just got I equal to 0. So while I is less than or equal to 5, so this is true because 0 is less than equal to 5. So the loop is going to run, and then I equals I plus 1. So 0 equals 0 plus 1. So sorry, I equals 0 plus 1, so I equals 1. If I mod 2 equals 0, break. So we're not going to break because it's not an even number, it's 1. So the next time round, so it will print this time because it's not going to break. So line 6 will run when I equals 0. So next time round, I is now equal, now it has an I equal to 1. So line 3 will make I equal to 2 because it will be 1 plus 1 is equals 2. If I mod 2 equals 0, then break. So it will break the while loop, so it won't print anymore. So if we run this, we should find we just get 1 asterisk. And there we go. So that's number 2. Hope you got that one. Okay, so question number 3. Bear in mind, when you're doing this as a practice example on the Python Institute test, you get 90 seconds for each question. So yeah, you don't have enough time to actually type it, and you can't copy and paste, so you can't even type it into a shell and test it. You have to kind of work it out in your head quite quickly. Right, var equals 1. While var is less than 10, so the while loop is going to run. Print the hash, so we know that hash is going to print at least once. Var equals var, shift the bits to the left. 0 fill left shift. I had to look this up. I got this wrong. I'm showing you all of the ones that I got wrong. Say 90 seconds is not long, especially if you're not fully concentrating, which is I don't recommend. What we're doing is first time it'll be 1, next time it'll be 2, then it'll be 4, then it'll be 8. So this should run 1, 2, 4, 8. That'll be 4 iterations. The iteration after 8 will be 16. So this is bitwise. So what we will get is 4 lots of hash, I believe. And there we go. If we just scroll up a bit. Now let me run that again. You can't quite see it. There we go, 4. So we've got 4 hashes. And that's because each time you're shifting the bit to the left. So you're going 1. This is binary. So 1, 2, 4, 8. And after 8 it would go to 16, which is greater than 10. So the loop stops. So that was question 3. Let's look at question 4. So this is similar to the very first one, but actually even easier. So I equals 0. So while I is less than equal to 3, so it should run on 0. And then I plus 2, so it'll go, I will become 2 on the second iteration. And on the third iteration, it'll become 4. So this should only run twice. So if we run it, there we go, we get two asterisks. So this, you should get this one. This you've got 90 seconds to work this one out. So there we go. Next, question 5. Okay, so again, this is a Boolean operation. So we've got z equals to 10, y equals to 0. Right, so y is less than z, so that's true. And z greater than y. Hang on, got this run the wrong way. So y is less than z. That's actually false. And z is greater than y, so that's true. Or y is greater than z, which is false, and z is less than y, so that's false. So what we've got here is we've got false and true, sorry. So that'll give us false. So we'll end up with false, or, and we've got false and false, so that's true. So we've got a false or true. So when you've got an or, you only need one or the other to be true. So that should actually give you true. So if we run it, let's print. There we go, true. Again, bear in mind you get 90 seconds to do this and you can't test it, so yeah. Right, this is quite a nice one. You just have to kind of concentrate and keep the iterable inside your head. So we've got a list, so the length of the list is 3. That's important. So it's going to iterate 3 times. Length of list. So for iterable will be in the range of the list length. So it's 3 times. We're going to insert 1. Insert on a list, if you don't specify, inserts the object before the index. So the index will be 0. So you'll get 1, 1, 1, and then the remainder of your original list. So it's like a pen, but it's putting the new values at the start. So we should get 1, 1, 1, followed by 1, 2, 3. Let's run it. And there we go. 1, 1, 1. So those are the new values. And then 1, 2, 3, which are the originals. Okay, that's quite a nice one. Next, let's do the final one. Okay, so this is quite a nasty one. When I pasted this in, I've put in the comments on line 6 and line 8 just to help, which we'll uncomment in a second. So I've got a list, 0, 1, 2, 3, x equals 1. So for each element in the list, we are going to take x, and then x equals, or the new value of x will equal x times the element. So x will then become 1 times, and then the element is 0. So x equals 1 times 0, which is 0. So x becomes 0. That's on the first iteration. The next iteration, x becomes, the new value of x is actually the old value of x times the element. So it will be 0 times 1. So it will be 0 times 1 again is 0. So for that's the second iteration. For the third iteration, x becomes the element, which is 2, times the value of x, which is 0. So 2 times 0 is 0. So x is still 0. And the third and final iteration, x equals, you know where this is going. Do you know what we're going to end up with? What will be the final value of x? It will be 0. And we're not printing there. So let me just uncomment that and we'll run it. So what you can see is the first iteration, x is 1 because we've declared that on line 3. All subsequent ones, the value of x will be 0 because we're actually multiplying the value from the list by 0. Because what we did at the start on line 7 is we said 1 times the element, which is 0. So x became 0 here. And then after the first iteration onwards, we kept on multiplying 1 by 0, 2 by 0, and 3 by 0. And just to show you, we can do another print. Let's comment that out. And you should see 0 times 0, 1 times 0, 3 times, 2 times 0, 3 times 0. So there we have it. Those are some little examples from the, taken from or based upon the Python Institute website. So you can sign up for a free account. And this is the basics course. Beyond then there's more courses you can, this is what's called the PCEP. This is the bottom level Python. This is the E stands for essentials, I believe. Then you go up to associate and then professional, as is the nomenclature for a lot of courses these days. Associate followed by professional, followed by, typically it'd be followed by expert or architect, something like that. So yeah, it's usually an E followed by an A followed by E for expert. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, quite often you'll just do so much coding with APIs and frameworks, you'll actually not always use the basics. And yeah, if you're like me, you can sometimes get a bit rusty on the basics, and it's always good to come back. And typically, if you're ever doing kind of an interview question or something, they'll probably throw in a few of these. So yeah, just to keep you on your toes, it's always worth knowing some of these. And I wouldn't say they're trick questions, but really you just need to be able to iterate through some values in your head. And yeah, what the first answer you see is not always the correct one, which is kind of the opposite of what many other exams and things in life are. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, next time I'll be back with something else. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up and all that stuff, just because YouTube, Algos. Thank you. See you soon.